Good afternoon. Welcome to the library. Please, feel free to browse these hallowed halls of learning and knowledge, and if there's anything I can do for you, then please let me know. Oh. It's you. And here I thought I was going to be conversing with a fellow intellectual. Someone with whom I could discuss the texts of Plato, Shakespeare, Robert Burns, and the like. But no. Unfortunately, I must once again engage in menial small talk with the dribbling buffoon that darkens my doorway. Let me guess, you're here to return more books of which you haven't read, I thought as much. Well, let's get this over with. I'm sure there will be many more deserving customers to attend to. I trust you have them on you. Or have you forgotten them? An act which I wouldn't put past someone as smooth-brained as yourself. Right. Let's see what you have here. One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. Well, this actually seems like a fairly entry-level piece. I would actually believe that you read this. Though, I assume it took longer than the 30-day return policy that this establishment enforces? No? Well then. I take it that you remember our little quizzing game from your last visit? And whilst you got lucky in the past, I assure you that these questions will be much more perplexing and will finally expose you for the sham literary connoisseur that you pretend to be. Ready? Alright. So, One Flew Over the Cuckoo's Nest. So many fond memories from my childhood of staying up past my bedtime reading under torchlight. Now, as you should know, the book's protagonist, Randall Patrick Murphy, was a boisterous, brawling, fun-loving rebel who finds himself committed to a mental hospital in which, after some altercations with the staff, he rallies the other patients around him to challenge the dictatorship of Nurse Ratched. However, what was the name of the medical procedure that he was forced to undergo after his behaviour became too hard to control? Well, that was fast. Yes, a lobotomy. A ghastly procedure involving the removal of part of the subject's brain tissue. A process which, thankfully, is now deemed immoral. I won't say I'm impressed with your knowledge, but it's reassuring to know that you can get through simple text such as this one. There may be hope for you yet. And I'll trust that the smug look on your face means I won't find any torn pages or folded corners. So we'll just pop this to the side and move on, shall we? Keep this interaction as short as possible. It's not that I don't enjoy your little visits, it's just that, well, I don't enjoy them. Moving on. Ah, now this one is a personal favourite of mine. If you have read this, which I doubt, then I have to congratulate you on your taste. The Strange Case of Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Alright then, question time. Although this was one of the great Robert Louis Stevenson's earlier works, we can agree that it is implicit in its focus on duality. That being said, what is the mental illness that Dr. Jekyll could be said to be suffering from? Well, yes, manic depressive psychosis. That's actually more accurate than my assumption. But nevertheless, you did well. Even if it was most likely with the help of Google. You can deny it all you like, but I find it highly unlikely that someone as dull as yourself could give such an accurate diagnosis without a degree in psychology. Unless there's something you're hiding from me. Fine. Keep your secrets. Moving on to your final return. Meditation by Marcus Aurelius. You expect me to believe that you read this? Then I suppose you wouldn't mind one final question, Confident, but foolish. Alright then. As anyone who's read this text knows, it is the journal of Marcus Aurelius, the fifth and last of Rome's so-called good emperors, and the most powerful human being in the world in his time, and possibly any other. However, what philosophical concept is this text known to discuss? Stoicism. Well, yes, that's correct. Simplistic, but correct, I suppose. Well, everything seems to be in order. You, through some miracle of idiocy, have managed to adhere to the rules of this fine establishment again. Now, can we please get down to why you're actually here? I trust that you have them. Ugh, don't make me say it. You know. The manga. Ugh, I feel so dirty for uttering such words in these hallowed halls. Not here. Put that away now before someone sees us, for God's sake. Don't you understand anything about discretion? Show me in the back. Come, follow me. Are you quite insane? You come into this library, this place of learning and class, and try to wave these texts around like a crazy person. Do you have any idea what would happen if anyone were to see those being read by a staff member? The reputation of myself, and indeed this library, would be irreparably tarnished in the eyes of the academic community for even entertaining the consumption of this rubbish. Well, yes, I know it's not rubbish, and you know it's not rubbish, but they don't know that. There would be outrage amongst the communities of academia if anything like this was to be seen amongst the hallowed works of literary gods. In their eyes, it would be as grievous a sin as mixing a fine whiskey with a can of cola. Of course I still want to see what you brought. What a stupid question. Just because they're closed-minded, knuckle-dragging galoots doesn't mean that I am. What am I going to do with you? Honestly, I don't think you comprehend just how much it pains me that I share similar interests with someone such as you. We are only fellow fans of literature because manga is literature. But let me be clear, if it were not for that, then I would say that you are but an uncultured buffoon. Now, let me see what you have. Seriously? Do I have to? I'm not a child, you know. Alright, fine. May I, please, see the issues that you brought with you? Thank you. Unbelievable. Yes, well, I did enjoy the first few issues of this series, but I thought it was a little too on the nose with its English translation, so I think I'll try something else. Oh, the latest issue of this one finally came out. The last one ended on such a cliffhanger. This'll be the first one to be read, methinks. Now this one, I've heard some interesting things about. Mixed, but interesting things. Oh, whilst I have you here, there was this one series that you mentioned to me when we met for coffee. Yes, that's the one. During our... I'm sorry? Date? Date? No, I'm fine. Just give me a minute. I don't appreciate your jokes, and that was a particularly unfunny one. What do you mean you weren't joking? So you actually thought that we went on... that it was a... No, don't say it again! It was not a date. It wasn't. It was merely a meeting between two like-minded individuals to discuss a mutual interest. Nothing more. I dread to think what despicable thoughts that mind of yours has conjured up if you assumed we were, as you said, dating. I am not blushing. Look, just... get out. Go on, be off with you. I can only withstand your ramblings in small doses, and I am afraid I am dangerously near to my limit. Yes, the manga you've brought will be sufficient for the time being. Leave them there and just... see yourself out, please. I need a second to compose myself before I face the piercing glances of the academics and literary nuts out front. Now please, just... go. And thank you, you know, for the... yeah. Dating. Where do they get these ideas from? As if I'd ever want to date them, right? Right? Oh dear.